The Lakers and Clippers sleepwalk through the trading deadline, bringing about a wailing and gnashing of teeth for sports writers across America. Clayton Kershaw explains why he's coming back to the Dodgers, and hopefully the Chargers do not draft the best player available. Good morning, I'm James. This is your daily dose of sports and snark for the greatest sports city in the world, Los Angeles. This is the Faithful Angelenos Morning Report. And it is February 9th, 2024. By the time you see this clip, I'm going to be on a plane heading east to St. Louis for work. Sucks for me. But in the meantime, let's be happy and talk LA sports. If you like being in the know about LA, clickety-clack the like button. Clickety-clack the subscribe button. There's a notification bell. Hit that. It lets you know when we drop new content. Sharing is caring. Let people know we exist, and by all means comment, because I do look forward to hearing from you guys. Now, before we go through the news and notes, a quick look at the scoreboard. Denver knocked off the Lakers 114-106. Kind of sucks, but we have to be real. Right now, the Lakers, they're just not there yet. Maybe they can figure it out. We'll have to wait, but for now, no. Anthony Davis scored 36 points. Meanwhile, today, the Lakers are playing again at 7:30. They're going to host New Orleans. If you go, take a moment and admire the new statue of Kobe Bryant out in front of Crypto.com Arena. By the way, did you hear that there's going to be 3 of them? Look, I think we all like Kobe, right? Let's be real. That's a little bit of overkill. That's a way bit too much overkill, but so be it. Guys, let's get to the news. And to be frank, I just want to start off with a rant. I need to get this out of my system. See, because the NBA trade deadline passed yesterday, and the Lakers did not make a move. The Clippers, they kind of did. They acquired a center who's playing in Europe. We have no idea if the guy has even stepped foot in the continental United States in his life. And the Clippers got him for cash, which means that's really not much of a deal. In other words, nothing happened, right? And this is surprising to an extent because I've been keeping track of Lakers trade rumors for months. And scribes across America, alleged legitimate scribes, gave us 19 names that I've kept in that second and third column, who the Lakers were allegedly in hot pursuit of 19 players. And they were right on exactly 0 of them. All those rumors, all those hottest of hot takes, the hottest of hot takes, the takiest of hot takes, 0 for 19. And so this rant is not an indictment of either the Lakers or the Clippers, as much as it is the scribes, the TV pundits, your ESPNs, your Fox Sportses, and the bloggers, all of them, who all said they had sources that said the Lakers were going to land so-and-so. The whole hot rumor process just really gets under my skin. If you are new to the program, there are 2 reasons this show exists. One is so I have something to keep my mind occupied while I'm away from my wife. And the other is to illustrate this point. I am a former newspaper reporter. Covered professional sports for 20 years. The reason that journalism exists is to tell you the things that you don't already know. And these jackals were 0 for 19. 0 for 19 on their predictions. Can you fathom how stupid you have to be to miss 19 predictions in a row? How bad your sources have to be to miss on all 19? We fans, we spend all this time, we want to learn about our favorite teams, and you blockheads in the press got absolutely nothing right. 0. Nothing. Do you have a friend at work, sits by the water cooler, has all the new information about your team, all the gossip? That dude was every bit as accurate as a professional journalist. Every bit as accurate. These guys went to college. These guys were taught how to tell the difference between a legitimate source and just a moron. And they still went 0 for freaking 19. Do you keep your job if you make 19 mistakes in public? Of course not. So what do these writers do? What do these bloggers do? What are you going to see on ESPN and Fox Sports all day today? Oh, we're going to write about the winners and the losers at the trade deadline. And obviously, the Lakers are losers because they didn't blow up the roster to make us look like Nostradamus. I see that game that journalists play because I was one. I see that game before it's even played. They don't even bother to reflect on maybe that their sources just aren't that reliable. You can sit there and go, oh, well, the Lakers roster isn't good enough, and you could be right about that. But you know what? Even on his worst night, D'Angelo Russell never went 0 for 19. The LA Times laid off hundreds of reporters, hundreds of people. Other news outlets doing likewise. And everyone in that industry keeps lamenting how journalism is struggling due to capitalism. Let me set everybody hip as to why journalism is struggling. It's not capitalism. It's not because the press is too left-wing. It's not because of Fox News and MAGA. It's none of those things. It's because the scribes are not telling you and I information, accurate information that we need to know. Gossip does not pass for news, period. So in cost-cutting moves, there were news outlets. They cut their experienced reporters for cheaper scrub writers fresh out of college. Very little idea of who they can trust, and they have no idea how to generate legit stories. All they know how to do is to generate clickbait. And as a result, you and I, we get garbage intel. We would pay handsomely to be properly informed, even if it's bad news. This is not an indictment of the Lakers or the Clippers. It is an indictment of the piss-poor state of American sports journalism, period. Now, having said that, the Lakers are still on the hunt for roster upgrades via the buyout market. To retell a story, the buyout market is when Team A acquires a player that they have no interest in playing. They buy out the guy's contract, and then the player signs with Team B. The Lakers are hoping that they can be Team B to some quality people on the open market. And as for the Clippers, PJ Tucker was a wee bit perturbed with the trade deadline because he wanted to be traded out of LA. And to say he was perturbed is to say that he unleashed a cuss word-filled social media post. All of this S is an effing joke, unquote. But by the way, speaking of the buyout market, Tucker's unlikely to ask to be bought out. Doing so means he would lose a lot of money, maybe tens of millions of dollars. So there's that. Clayton Kershaw said the Dodgers showing that they can be patient with him while he recovers from shoulder surgery, and that playoff elimination in Arizona last year were the deciding factors to return to LA for a 17th season. Quote, didn't want to go out that way. I think that was ultimately how I came to it. That's what he told the LA Times. Meanwhile, he targeted his return to the majors as July-ish or August-ish, which means we have to be patient while we wade through this ish. Chargers general manager Joe Ortiz gave out a cliche when he was asked what the Bolts will do with the 5th overall pick in the upcoming draft. He said he would take the best player available. Now, again, you hear something like that and your eyes roll in the back of your head. Totally get it. But then I wondered aloud, who is the 5th best prospect in the NFL draft? And for the most part, you better hope Ortiz is lying. You really should. Because NFL.com thinks the 5th best prospect is LSU quarterback Jaden Daniels. Anybody think he's going to take over for Justin Herbert? Really? Meanwhile, CBS Sports, Pro Football Focus, and The Sporting News thinks the 5th best prospect is Notre Dame left tackle Joe Alt. Really? Anybody want to give up on Rashawn Slater? No? Exactly. Now, Fox Sports might be onto something. They think the 5th best prospect is Illinois defensive lineman Jerzon Newton. And that would be a good idea considering how bad the Chargers' interior defense was last year. ESPN, meanwhile, thinks it's LSU wide receiver Malik Nabers. That might come in handy. The Chargers might wind up decimating their offensive skill positions. So that could be a possibility. Also with the Chargers, Chad Alexander was named new assistant GM. He left the New York Jets to come by. He has worked with Ortiz in the past. They were both working for the Baltimore Ravens. And the Bolts will also welcome back Shane Day as quarterback coach. He left the Bolts last year to serve as senior offensive assistant in Houston. I have no idea what that means. All I know is Houston reached the playoffs with a rookie quarterback. So there might be something there. UCLA basketball coach Mick Cronin said, if it's not obvious to you how the Bruins offense is all of a sudden functioning properly, it goes pretty much like this. Step 1, get the ball to Adem Bona. Step 2, let Bona figure it out. Simple as that. Quote, we try to play through Adem. It's no secret. We're better when we do. He just draws so much attention. He puts a lot of pressure on the other team's defense. You want to double him, and he becomes a really good passer, unquote. Meanwhile, over at SC, Isaiah Collier, the freshman guard who's considered a likely NBA lottery pick if he turns pro this summer, told the Southern California News Group that he hasn't decided on whether he will leave USC after the season. Dude, I think I speak for everybody in LA. We don't believe you. We don't. And frankly, I don't think any of us would blame you if you did leave. We'd like you to stay. Ain't nobody banking on it. Go in peace. Make that bag. Now, if this matters, the Sparks are planning to play up-tempo this year, according to Coach Curt Miller. This is relatively common for teams when they go super young, because younger players, not only do they not know all the nuances of the playbook, they don't even necessarily know the nuances of what it is to be a professional athlete, how to play and get calls from the refs, things like that. So what you want to do is you want to get them in a position to get as many cheap baskets as possible. Go out and run. And in addition to that, the Sparks' best player from last year, Nneka Ogwumike, she would have been 33 this season had she decided to stay in LA. So she went to Seattle. And besides that, it's hard to imagine her wanting to run that many wind sprints. But with 3 draft picks among the first 8 in the upcoming WNBA draft, you're talking about 3 women who are barely allowed legally to go into a bar. So make sure you get some fresh new kicks, ladies. You're going for a run. But you let me know what you think in the comments thread. Are you disappointed in the Lakers or the Clippers regarding the NBA trade deadline? Are you going to be patient with Clayton Kershaw while he tries to recover for half a year? And for that matter, what about the Chargers at pick number 5? And if you enjoyed the content, don't forget to subscribe to Faithful Angelenos. We're talking LA sports every single day here. Thank you for watching. I'm James. We'll be back tomorrow. Faithful Angelenos is a Kian Corte El Queso production. Take care.